These brick ruins are relics of the gold rush boomtown Shasta, which prospered until 1890. They were part of the longest row of brick buildings north of Sacramento, built in response to the 1853 fire that destroyed virtually the entire commercial district. Let's take a look at just a few of the over 40 businesses that once stretched for a mile along Main Street. Our first business, moving from east to west, was the U.S. Bakery. The doorway and platform for the oven in the back wall can still be seen. The next two buildings change hands frequently. The best known proprietors were Benjamin B. Young, a former black slave who owned a bathhouse and barbershop, and Emmanuel Lewin, an assayer and jeweler who manufactured and sold watches and jewelry. This is the Willis Building, which had a balcony and wrought iron staircase. It served in many roles, including as an Oddfellows Hall. Next we have Tomlinson and Wood, who sold dry goods and provided supplies for miners and freighters. Wells Fargo and Company and the Shasta Courier newspaper also had offices here. Our next building was one of the most decorative, with carved columns and horizontal molding framing the doorway. Dr. Benjamin Shurtleff owned and operated a drugstore alongside Goldstone and Company, which was another business to sell dry goods, clothing, boots, and shoes. As the largest wholesale business in Northern California, Bull Baker and Company purchased goods from suppliers and shipped them on the Sacramento River by steamer to Red Bluff. They transferred the goods to freight wagons that hauled them here. Upon arrival in Shasta, they sold the merchandise at retail prices to locals and wholesale to pack trains traveling to the mining camps. They also shipped as far away as Southern Oregon. Our next building was shared by two businesses. T. Levy and Company sold cigars, chewing tobacco, and knickknacks. A&S Solomon and Company sold clothing, merchandise, and again, dry goods. If you look on the right side, you'll still see the mill slot cut into the shutter. Here was the first St. Charles Hotel. It later became the St. Charles Store, then the St. Charles Warehouse. Jacobson and Company was a clothing store that also sold dry goods. This was the first brick building constructed in Shasta. Next, in the gap there, we have Holub and Isaacs. This is the fifth in this cluster of businesses to sell dry goods. The store advertised a wide variety, including hats, crockery, carpets, and curtains. It also was able to make and furnish sacks of all kinds, tents, and house linings. The last business was the Dangerfield and Company building, which served mostly as a grocery store, selling produce from local orchards and vineyards. As we've arrived at the end of the ruins, I must also wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed this short foray into just one of the many sites within the Shasta State Historic Park. The next time you're deciding how to spend a couple of hours, why not come out to Old Shasta and walk amid this local history. Also, stop by the Shasta Historical Society building in Reading, where you can see our current exhibit, bookstore, and research library. Until then, please take care.